Good morning, students. Today we are going to start the new unit Indices. This is in grade 9, second term, unit 12. So first, we have to know about the product of powers with the same base. This is the first law of indices. A to the power of m times a to the power of n is equal to a to the power of m plus n. Here we will see an example. Here 2 to the power of 3 times 2 to the power of 2. Here there are two powers with the same base 2. Now we are multiplying. Here there are two powers with the same base. So now we are going to multiply. When we are multiplying two powers with the same base, then we have to add these two index because that is the first law. A to the power of m times a to the power of n is equal to a to the power of n plus n. When we multiply two powers with the same base, we have to add these two index, then m plus n, then 2 to the power of 5. So this is the first law. Now we can prove by using this example. Here 2 to the power of 3 times 2 to the power of 2. So 2 to the power of 3, now we can expand this power as 2 times 2 times 2. Here 2 to the power of 2. So we can expand that also, then 2 times 2. Now we have 5 2's, so we can write as 2 to the power of 5. So this is the first law. When we are multiplying two powers with the same base, we can add these two index. Then 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. There's an example. 5 to the power of 4 times 5 to the power of 2. Here also we are multiplying two powers with the same base 5. Then we have to add these two index. Then 5 to the power of 4 plus 2, 6. Right. So this is the first law. When we are multiplying powers with the same base, we have to add the index. So for this first law, we will do some example for this. Here, fill in the blanks. 2 to the power of 5 times 2 to the power of 2. Here also there are two powers with the same base 2. Then we know we have to add these two index. Then 2 to the power of 5 plus 2, that is equal to 2 to the power of 7. Then second question, x to the power of 4 times x to the power of 2. So here also bases are equal, then we have to add the index. Then x to the power of 4 plus 2, that is x to the power of 6. So when we are multiplying two powers with the same base, then directly we can add the index. Here a to the power of 3 times a to the power of 4 times a to the power of 1. So here there are three powers with the same base a, then we can add these three index. Then 3 plus 4 plus 1, 3 plus 4 plus 1, that is 8. Then next one. Here 5 to the power of 3 times 3 to the 3p. So first we will expand this 5 times p to the power of 3 times 3 times p to the power of 1. Now we can multiply these two numbers. Then 5 times 3 is equal to 15. Now we can multiply these two powers because these two are same base. Then p to the power of 3 times p to the power of 1. That is p to the power of 3 plus 1. Then p to the power of 4. Then the next one, x to the power of 2 times x to the y to the power of 3 times x to the power of 5 times y to the power of 5. So first we have to rearrange. Then x to the power of 2 times x to the power of 5 times y to the power of 3 times y to the power of 5. Here these two powers have same base. Then directly we can add these two index. Then x to the power of 2 plus 5. Here the last two powers, the same base. So we can add these two index, y to the power of 3 plus 5. Then x to the power of 2 plus 5 is 7. Y to the power of 3 plus 5 is 8. Then y to the power of 8. Then the next question. Here, join each expression in column A with the expression in column B, which is equal to it. So first we have to multiply these all powers, then we can match these with these answers. Here, x to the power of 3 times x to the power of 7. So here same basis, then we can add, then x to the power of 3 plus 7, 10. So then we can join these two. Then the second one, x to the power of 5 times x to the power of 2 times x to the power of 1. Then directly we can add these three index, 5 plus 2, 7 plus 1, 8. Then if we add these, then x to the power of 8. Then x to the power of 7, x to the power of 1, then x to the power of 8. Again, we got the answer as x to the power of 8. Then we have to join with x to the power of 8. Here, x to the power of 2 times x to the power of 2 times x to the power of 6. So we have to add these three index. Then x to the power of 2 plus 2, 4 plus 6, 10. Then we can join with x to the power of 10. Then the last one, x to the power of 2 times x to the power of 3 times x to the power of 2 times x to the power of 1. Here the bases are equal. Then we can add these four index. Then 2 plus 3, 5, 5 plus 2, 7, 7 plus 1, 8. Then x to the power of 8. Now we can join this x to the power of 8. We will do one more question. Simplify. There are 8 questions, so we have to do that. X to the power of 3 times x to the power of 6. Here the bases are equal, then directly we can add these two index, then x to the power of 9. Here x to the power of 2 times x to the power of 2 times x to the power of 2. Then x to the power of, we can add these three index, 2 plus 2, 4 plus 2, 6. Then here a to the power of 3 times a to the power of 2 times a to the power of 4. Then the bases are equal. Then we can add these three index, 3 plus 2, 5 plus 4, 9. Then here, the 2 is here because the coefficient of x to the power 5 is equal to 1. Then we can multiply these two numbers. 2 into 1 is equal to 2. Now we can multiply these two powers, x to the power 3 times x to the power 5. Here the bases are equal, then we can add these two index, then x to the power 8. Then fifth one, 5p to the power 2 times 2p to the power 3. So first we should multiply the numbers, 5 times 2, 10. Then we can multiply these two powers because these two powers have same base. Then if we add these two index, then p to the power 5. Now, 4x to the power 2 times 2x times 3x to the power 5. Now we should multiply these numbers. 8 times 2, 4 times 2, 8, 8 times 3, 24. Here x to the power 2, x to the power 1, x to the power 5. So we have to add these all index, 2 plus 1, 3 plus 5, 8. Here the coefficient of n squared is equal to 2. The coefficient of other powers is 1. So if we multiply 1 times 2, then 2. Now m to the power 2, here m to the power 1. We can multiply these two powers only because these two powers have same base. So we can add these two index, then m to the power 3. Here m to the power 2, here m to the power 1. These two powers have same base. Then we can add these two index, then n to the power 3. Then the last one, 2 times 3, 6, 6 times 5, 30, 30 times 2, 60. First we multiply the numbers. Then we have to multiply the powers with the same base. Here a to the power 2 into a to the power 1. Then a to the power 2 plus 1, 3. Here b to the power of 2 into b to the power of 3. Then if you multiply these two powers, then we can write as b to the power of 5. So this is the first law of indices. When we are multiplying the powers with the same base, then we can add the index. Then a to the power of m times a to the power of n is equal to a to the power of m plus n. So today we have finished the first law of indices. So we will learn the second law of indices in the next class. So thank you so much.